Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Let's be patient.
Yo, Mike, can you go upstairs?
Excited, excited to have everybody here. Let's see. Let's see. Start loading. Come on in, y'all. Make yourself comfortable. There she is.
Who?
You.
I'm always here, bro.
Really?
Are those my headset?
It's not your headset. Put those down. Put that down. It's not yours. It's not yours. Hey, Kaz. Hey, Kaz, I have a question for you. How do you get the notification so fast? Because you are always right there. What's up, Jody? Hey, Lakeisha, y'all come on in, make yourself comfortable. I think there should be, let's load. 45, 49, let's go. Let's jump right into it. You want to get yourself comfortable? Are you good?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, your knee is right in my, on my side. No, but I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be comfortable. Oh yeah, it is 7 o'clock here. We are running a little bit late. I was trying to get started on, okay, there should be, I don't see it. So there should be a button on the page. A lot of people are asking me, how come I don't get the notification when you guys go live? And you have to go into your settings and adjust your settings for all live shows. So on the, let's see, on your phone, which probably I'm going to assume, is there anybody watching this from a computer? Do people even sit at their computer anymore? I'm going to assume that most of you are watching this from your phone. Mm-hmm. And while you're doing that, April's trying to help me with, so there it is. There's the button right there. So it says get notifications when After I Do goes live, and you can turn that on. So all you have to do is hit the button to turn it on.
It was a yellow.
Hit that, turn it on.
It's a yellow
hit that turn
light
on,
bulb.
See what happens. That yellow light bulb, turn it on and see what happens. Bingo. So they'll make the adjustment for you.
Yeah.
So there's a button on the page that says get notifications when After I Do goes live. So now make that adjustment, hit it, and you'll get the notification, and that takes care of that. Not sure if y'all remember my post on your page.
I think I'm gonna get some wine. Hold on,
Paige, get yourself a nice glass of wine. Maybe we can repeat what happened last night. I told you guys about my husband and I are serving for almost 2 years now. Okay, Janelle, let's see if we can get into you. Now we start marriage counseling tomorrow. All right. I'm hoping I think that's the best way to going into this. Hey, Janelle, I couldn't agree with you more. Sometimes you need someone who has a little bit more information than you do, who is unemotional about the situation to help you and your spouse, significant other, just manage the information and manage how people are feeling about things. Kai said, go, April, and get your wine.
That's a big glass.
That is a big glass of wine.
I want the, what is it? Kerry Washington from Scandal. I want that glass. So I think I'm going to look for that tomorrow. I'm going to go to, what do you think?
So,
Crate and Barrel?
Your Crate and Barrel, go. So look what Kaz just said. So Janelle said her and her husband, significant other, going to counseling. She sent us a message. But Kaz just said, yep, counseling, tools for the toolbox.
Ooh,
and what did I say earlier today?
You say so much stuff. I don't know.
I said you got to have the tools in your toolbox.
That's true.
You don't be listening to me. Why are you looking at my tag?
Because it was sticking up. I was just trying to put it down.
Okay. I was great. I thought it was just going to be a little back scratch.
Tools for the toolbox. That's true. Maybe we need counseling. We're past counseling. No, we are never too good for counseling.
Well,
I think it's like a tune-up. I don't know. Right now, we're okay. You know, sometimes you get on my nerve. I think that you don't like constructive criticism. When I tell him stuff, he needs to hear it. Like if I start it, he goes, okay, I got it. But he hasn't let me get it out. I need to get it all out. You can't stop me in the middle of whatever I'm trying to relate to him. And then he's like, why are you going on and on and on? It's not going on and on. You haven't let me finish the whole thought or get it out of my mouth. Then by the time I get it out, he's on fire. So we had a little disagreement this week, Monday, and we kind of squashed it by Monday night, right? Or was it Tuesday?
I think maybe it was Tuesday night.
Wait, what's
Yeah,
today?
I know. The day is Sunday, so it wasn't Tuesday.
It was
It was
Friday.
It was
Thursday
Friday or Friday.
No, it was Friday. My day off. Friday, because
Okay.
you wanted to go hiking and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, but here's the honest to God truth. We are good, but when it comes to paperwork and getting stuff signed into the school and corresponding, it's all on me. And because I've mentally checked out, I'm good. Like, my focus is working and getting Royce to the next step. Anything else, I don't care. I missed the yearbook. What was it? The dedication to your kid and scrapbook, missed that. Like, I'm almost checked out. Like, I don't care. Like, he has graduation and then I'm done. All I have is Ross after that. But back to the subject. So we wake up Friday. I'm on him because it can't just be me. And my whole argument is like, it's both of us. It's the two of us. I'm working just as much as you. And I don't get to sit at a desk. I am working. I am up and down, changing people, altering, sewing buttons. I am constantly working and still in between. What's for dinner? I get texts. What's for dinner? What's this? I need a check for this. And I'm like, your father is in an office down the street from the house, chilling. And I say chilling because no one's over him. It's not a job where his boss is like, get this done and do this. He manages himself. I'm on set with a supervisor and trying to figure out, Postmate, put money in my account, put money. And I'm like, how come they don't bother you? So I get frustrated. So I was just saying, we have to do better with paperwork. And he is horrible with paperwork, and he always loses stuff. He loses everything. He lost glasses. I had to replace these. He doesn't.
You lost the glasses. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm not.
You lost my glasses. I gave the glasses to you, so that's where.
I thought I gave them back to you.
You know damn well you didn't give me the glasses back. You know you didn't.
In the car. Don't be trying to get your little point in there so you can stop.
You
I don't
just
know
use as an example when we clearly agreed that you lost my glasses.
I don't know that I lost the glasses. That's my thing. I don't know. I was trying to help you out. I don't remember where the glasses are. So the glasses are. Anyway, he loses everything. Money, hats, cords, plethora of things. Always losing, misplacing.
Victoria is listening and watching us from the shower.
Well, you know what? He always loses stuff. And then, and it in my brain, I'm like, another thing. And it may seem small, but it's still money. A headset, $19.99. A cord for your computer, $70. Oh, I left my computer in New York. How do you leave your computer in New York? Got to get one of my friends to go to the hotel, get the thing.
Who left their computer in New York?
You left something where Tanji had to go pick it up and send it off to you. Yeah, that's how much stuff you do.
How long ago was that?
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying, how long ago was that?
About 2 years ago.
That wasn't 2 years ago. You're talking about something that happened 6 years ago.
Does it matter? You did.
It absolutely matters.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Go
something
ahead.
Left behind.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. It adds up to my frustration. It's like a piece of sand. It's still adding up. You're building a good beach, like one piece of sand at a time. You have a really good beach right now. So what I'm saying is, it's constant. And it makes me fearful that I'm married to this man that mine can't function other,
okay, Victoria, I see what you're saying now. But glad he's listening. Go ahead.
If he's focused on
her husband is in the shower listening.
Okay, so if would you stop stopping me? Okay, so now I don't know what I was talking about. You getting on my goddamn nerves. What was I saying?
Do you know what you were saying?
That I'm married to a person that has tunnel vision, meaning he's trying to get to a meeting and that's all he can focus on. He don't know where his keys are. He don't know where he put his money. He don't know where this is that. Then he gets there. Then, probably going to get a parking ticket because he always gets parking tickets. Let's not even talk about that. Then he got a speeding ticket the other night. So he's like Dennis the Menace, like he's always something. It's like a teenage, like I'm dating a teenager, just carefree. Don't know. I'm a park here, parking ticket. I'm a drive fast, speeding ticket. I got one too. But he gets more stuff than I ever get. So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, You are in charge of this household and you are always losing a 20, $100 bill, $500. He loses a lot. I don't lose stuff like that.
I ain't always losing no damn $5 bill or 20. I told you that.
Listen, it's my story.
It's not your story. You're supposed to be.
Christmas.
It's a conversation.
Even though it was like 8 years ago, how much money did you lose at the grocery store? How much did you lose?
I lost $500.
Okay. Who told you to go pay the tutor last week and you couldn't find the money? How much did you lose? You misplaced it for a second.
It fell out of my pocket.
How much?
$100 bill fell out of my pocket.
And thank God he went back to the driveway. It was there. My point is, had he really lost it, he wouldn't have told me. And that's $100. I don't care how you look at it. It's $100. How do you lose $100? So with that said, imagine all the little things that he doesn't slip up and tell me, or not tell me on purpose because he don't want to hear my mouth, is what I'm trying to get at.
I'll tell you whatever it is.
That's what I'm trying to get out. It's always, every week I brace myself. It's always something. It sounds little to him, but to me, it's just another thing. I'm like, from the time I met him, I remember he had this backpack shaped like a hat. He left it on the tray. And that should have told me that was 20 years ago. He laughing because he know he lost the backpack.
I'm not laughing.
It had all his shit in it. He's always losing something. And I'm like, I got to go through the rest of my life with this man. And I want to get some safety pins and pin his shit on him. Here's your passport. Here's your wallet. And I don't have time. I'm trying to manage everything else. So I called him on a couple of things. Yo, after I do was lit on Friday. He was hot. You talk about hot? He was mad. He was mad at me.
No.
But I broke the ice. I'm like, there's no need to be
mad. We can't get to that part. Why don't you let me respond? I don't have a problem in the world with having a conversation. Mm-hmm. The problem is you don't know how to talk to people. And you have to learn. I woke up Friday excited because we were both home. We both had an opportunity to lay in the bed for a while. I was like, oh, we could get up and go hiking, go somewhere and have breakfast. But you had to start in on me with this stuff and then make this comment about me being like a 5-year-old. I'm like, I'm a grown man.
I'm married to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, and you're not married to a 5-year-old. You're married to a grown man that don't... Listen, let me finish now. You spoke. Now it's time for me to speak. Mm-hmm. I told you, if you want to have a conversation... If you want to effectively communicate with me, can you focus, please? Whatever that is can wait. If you want to effectively get my attention and have the conversation the right way, all you got to do is say, babe, this, or babe. It sets the conversation. It did not start out that way.
I said you were on. No,
I'm still talking. You woke up angry.
I did not wake up angry.
Whatever, there was something bugging you. Your energy was horrible. Your energy was horrible. I can tell you. I know the way you woke up. You woke up cranky, and your energy was off. So you started going in about the money that I lost, and then the ticket, and all of these things started to build up. I'm still talking.
It starts to build up. It's like,
sure.
Yo, it's a lot that you do. It's like enough. But go ahead. Yes, it builds up because it's constant. You know why you're taking it so lightly? And I always say this because it doesn't affect you. I listen to you.
It all affects me. It's our life together. It all affects me.
Yeah. And
can you move over a little bit so you're properly in the frame?
You know what I mean? You don't know how I feel being the recipient
of what?
Your actions.
How are you the recipient?
Babe, we can't afford to be losing $500, $100, whatever the case. We cannot. If I happen to do that, it would be a pass because my track record is I don't do stuff like that. But for you, it's become a norm. And I don't like it. It shouldn't be a norm that you are so busy that you cannot focus on what you're doing. It's disturbing at this point. There's no excuse for it. You got to slow down. That's basically what I'm saying. You have to slow down.
See that? See how you're talking to me right now? That would have been way more appreciated than your tone and how you were speaking to me the other day. All you had to do is say, babe, you're doing way too much. You got way too much on your plate. You're losing things. You're speeding. It is uncharacteristic. When is the last time I got a speeding ticket?
You know what? Ticket, period. You're always
Thank you,
there.
Nichelle. Empathy. You have to be empathetic to people.
When it happens all the time.
It does not
just
happen all the
he got
time.
a speeding ticket this time. Ask how many parking tickets.
I haven't gotten a parking ticket in a long time.
I mean, every year you get about, I want to say
2 or 3?
3 to 5 parking tickets. How many do I get?
You get. Why are you comparing me to you? I'm not you.
Exactly.
So why you keep comparing me to you?
I need you to
It's
do
not
better.
a part of the conversation.
It is.
Wanting me to do better is one thing. That's isolated from this whole idea of how many do I get? How many? It's not a competition.
Because you don't. My
it's
whole
not
point of
a competition.
You don't. It's not a competition.
Exactly.
But you don't have to worry about me conducting myself that way. I don't come home with parking tickets. I don't lose stuff. I'm not always like in a rat, and I have probably more stuff on my brain than you because I'm always thinking about you. What are you doing today? How's he handling? Hopefully everything is good. Then I'm thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about everything. Where your tunnel vision.
Well, you need to turn that brain off sometimes and stop trying to manage everything in the universe. You can.
I'm not.
This is a very real. Hold on. Stop for a second.
Stop for a second. In the universe.
You are. You putting way too much on yourself. You want the best in life, right? You want the best for us. You want the best for yourself. But all you can do is do what you can do and let the universe take care of the rest.
And when I don't do things, when I'm trying to check out or, I want to be on top of everything. And when I say, okay, I'm going to give myself a break.
Thank you, Joanne.
I slip, didn't do the yearbook. And that kind of stuff bothers me because I want Royce to have his scrapbook in the yearbook. But because, I'm checked out mentally, I could say that. Things fall through the cracks. And I don't want things to fall through the cracks. So I don't know what the happy medium is. You're just as busy as me. You didn't catch it. I didn't catch it. So for the children's sake, I don't know if I can completely.
But can I stop you for a second? You didn't catch it. I didn't catch it. So now what's happening is you're taking all of the energy from the fact that we missed the opportunity and now dragging it into the rest of our relationship. It's like, okay, we missed it. I didn't go to my prom. I can't. That's not haunting me or my mother and father for the rest of our life. These things happen.
But they don't happen to me. I'm an only child. I didn't miss my
Well,
mom.
again, you have to fix that for yourself emotionally.
Right. I have to figure some things
What does
out.
you being an only child have to do with the fact that we missed
Meaning that
this yearbook opportunity? No, I'm saying, what does that have to do with us missing the yearbook opportunity?
Everybody was focused on one thing, me. We can't do that. We have several kids. You know what I mean?
We have 3 boys.
It's a lot of work. And 2 grandchildren. It's a lot. They're here. We're trying to make everything work. My brain is on who's eating, who's picking up, who's doing this. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Thank you, Sharita. She says, sounds like you're worrying too much. Also, you're forgetting Royale is your husband and not your child. While you want the best for him, you can't chastise him because he doesn't operate the same way that you do. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's the point that I'm.
He's not a child, and I'm glad you said that because I feel like he is half the time. I tell him stuff, he don't remember. You got to text it. You got to email it. You got to write it down. You got to send smoke signals up. I don't have time. You're right. He is not my child. And that's why I need someone equal. He doesn't know.
Wait, so you're saying I'm not equal to you?
Meaning with some of the things with the kids, you don't know what's going on. If I don't do it, it won't get done. So,
interesting.
Send him to the store verbally.
Kanisha, I don't drink,
rice,
so.
Get whatever. He get to the store. What you tell me? After you said things and done things over.
Nobody tells somebody what to get from the store. You text the list.
Babe, if you're standing here and I tell you, go to the store and get mayonnaise and rice, you should be able to figure that out. But he's not listening to me. So by the time he gets to the store, he's asking again. And that drives me crazy because I'm standing there with you. I shouldn't have to pick up my phone and text while you're there. Get this and that. How about you text it to yourself or you write a note and write down what the grocery list is? Or I tell you, appointments or we need to be so-and-so. He'll ask me 3 to 4 times. And let me tell you something. It may sound trivial, but when you answer that shit after the 3rd time after you have said it, it's enough to make you go crazy because I don't have time to tell him something 5 times. I just don't. And when I get to the 5th time, I'm on 100. Because if I can remember and write it down, the 3rd, maybe the 2nd or the 3rd time when you ask, you should say, hey, I probably asked this a few times. Let me get a sticky. Let me get my phone out. Let me write it down. Not, he takes the easy way out. And you know what the easy way out is? Asking me, which drives me insane because my brain has too much on my mind for you to keep asking me the same shit over and over and over. And you know you do it over, and I can't take it. That's what I'm talking about. So yes, he is not my child, but he has child tendencies.
I don't have child tendencies because I don't remember something does not mean I have child tendencies.
It's not that you don't remember. You didn't take the time to even to write it down or do anything because you know why? In your brain,
that's not child tendencies. What are you talking about?
Going to ask me again. A kid asks you 5 times, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Don't ask me 5 times.
Okay, so just say that.
Annoying.
So then, in the future, what would be nice is if, when we have time, if you would say, hey, babe, it's really starting to bother me that you can't remember the things that I've told you more than once when you go to the store.
You see?
It would mean, let me finish. This isn't about you now. Wait. This isn't about you now. I'm sharing information.
Oh, my God.
For those other wives out there, if you're having this problem with your husband, when the time is right, you have to learn how to effectively communicate with your husband or your wife. I'm not going to assume that this is always something that wives are going through. What do you mean in a perfect world? I'm just saying this is a tool.
And you're very calm in your voice.
What's the purpose of us doing this if we can't share information with people to try to help them manage a situation that's real?
You're taking it like it's that easy because.
But why shouldn't it be that? It's that simple. It really is that simple.
You're not the one being asked a million questions all the time. It's me. So you're telling me.
This isn't about you, though. This is the point. You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
No, I'm not.
You are missing the point. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
No.
This has nothing to do with you.
No. You just said, if you could say, babe,
I'm talking to the people that's following us, April. What part of that are you missing? This is a situation we went through. Now I'm telling them that if you're going through something like this, from my perspective, what would be helpful is if they sat down as a couple and said, hey, as the wife, saying to your spouse, I'm having a challenge with you not remembering. This is a problem for me. It would mean the world to me if you would text it to yourself, write it down, because you asking me 4 and 5 times is becoming problematic. What's wrong with me telling them I feel like that's my solution?
Because you aren't using that same tool for yourself. That's what's pissing me off, because you're making it sound.
Why is it pissing you off?
Because you got to practice what you preach, dude. That's why.
But that's the point of us doing this, so that if I'm hearing it.
Okay. You are really getting me angry because I have said this like a million, like in a year, I say it over and over and over. And you're sitting here like you got all the answers. And
no, I'm not. I'm having a conversation with you. I'm listening to you and having a conversation.
What you preach. Once you do that, then you tell the other dudes what to do. Don't be saying it like you got this shit down pat. This is how I handle my wife. You still have yet to prove that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I'm done. Don't be like you got all the answers, because you don't.
I never said I have the answers. That's the point of doing this.
Okay, but my thing is, if you're saying it like that, then I need you to practice what you preach. Don't ask me. Next time you ask me something more than twice, I'm not going to answer. It's going to be a flat line.
Good. That's a choice you can make.
Flat line.
That's a choice you can make.
Okay.
That's not going to help the relationship.
You won't have the information. I am not a tape recorder. You cannot keep barraging my brain cells asking me the same shit over and over. That's being spoiled. That's being rotten. That's taking me for granted. That's like I have nothing else to do but be on command. When you ask me that same question for the 3rd time, that means you aren't that interested. That's what that means. So you got a 2-point 2-question minimum. Third time, not answering it. And I mean that. I'm not answering it.
Okay.
There you go. That's going to solve that problem. And I can't stand when you can figure out how I'm supposed to approach stuff. That kills me. If I sit down, listen, no. Not, it maybe if it's something brand new, but not something that we've been together for 24 years that you continually do. Don't do that to me.
Don't do what? I'm missing the point.
Keep going.
No, I'm just saying I'm missing the point when
Like,
you say don't.
You always can tell me how I'm supposed to approach you. I'm going to approach you the way I want to approach you. Sometimes it'll be the way you think. It's always the way you think I should. And life doesn't work like that. And that's why communication is the key. I get that. But don't tell me.
You're contradicting yourself.
I can tell you something. You can't tell me how to tell you, though. That's what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
could ask.
You can ask.
Sure.
But don't tell me. If you would have came and just been like, babe, I need you to do this. After you have done or asked me something for the 5th time, you can't expect me to kind of like, babe.
But what are you saying? 4th or 5th time, if I forget something or I ask you to remind you or to remind me about something that I forgot?
Just like anything, you'll always tell me after the argument, babe, now if you would have just came to me this way, but life doesn't work that way. So however I come to you, you have to be willing to listen. I never come to you on a 10. You take it as a 10. I'm never yelling and screaming at you.
Yeah, we don't yell and scream.
Okay. But don't tell me how I should come to you.
I think anybody, it's fair to make a request of your spouse or somebody you're in a relationship with to suggest to them that it will be helpful if, when you present information to me, you present it this way. I don't think there's anything wrong with making a suggestion. If I came at you a certain way and you told me, hey, this doesn't work for me, I would appreciate it if you presented it this way. What's problematic about that?
It's your tone. It's everything. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't. Were you telling me? How do I know what you're talking about if you're not telling me?
Let's move on before I get heated. Hey.
What are we moving on to? Go ahead. I'm listening.
You pinned some questions. Let's move on. You got the point. Don't ask me stuff more than 2 times. And hi. You got a bun? You got a man bun. No. Leave it. Don't pick it up. Leave it. Leave it.
Yeah, again, tone is everything. I just, I can't even state that or overstate that enough. Tone is everything. It's why I think people have so many problems in relationships, because they don't know how to talk to each other. It's some people that don't want to talk at all, and then you get into the next level of it, which is that people don't know how to talk to each other. And I think clearly right now we have a case where April doesn't agree with how I'm asking her to communicate. And again, all I'm saying is help me better understand how to do that. So that was my thing. I'm trying to say, help me better understand how to communicate to you. I'm not yelling or screaming.
No, you don't yell or scream. I didn't yell or scream when I said what I said on Friday. You just didn't appreciate it. You didn't appreciate the fact that I said you're acting like a 5-year-old. There were things in that conversation that you didn't appreciate that made you feel and get so defensive. My tone was great. Like, I was talking to you like this.
No, you was not. No,
it's out of frustration. I was too. I wasn't angry. I was not angry. I was trying to tell you how I felt.
I take it off.
You took it off? Oh.
Come here. Come say hello.
Watch the cord.
You want to come say hello?
Watch the cord. Step over. Good job.
Here's our marriage counselor right here. So we're going to get a professional. Come here.
On.
No.
Come say hello. Do you think grandma's right?
No.
Right. You think grandma needs to learn how to talk better?
No.
Thank you, baby.
No.
Why you take your man bun down? Why'd you take that man bun down?
It's just advice for dealing with your spouse and the children, baby mamas or baby daddies. I don't know. I don't. I think again, this is when you have a child. Thank you, Terry. That's the grandson, Big Joey. Big Joey.
Come here, baby.
Um. Hey, Tamika. All right. So when you have a child and two people make a child, and then you guys are no longer together, and you have to try to resolve being in a relationship with someone. Again, this is where it's necessary to be an adult. You have to be an adult. You have to learn how to talk about.
What was the question? Because I had that situation.
The question was, do you have any advice for dealing with baby mamas or baby daddies?
I just think, because I had a kid when I met Royale, we've never had any problems. I think you just have to be mature about the situation. This question comes up a lot. Everybody has to be on the same page. There's so many different variables to this, Are people setting rules like, I don't want my child around your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Like, whatever it is, you have to squash it and figure out a plan that both can be comfortable with. Because I get if you're just dating so many different people and you're having this child around different people, that might be disturbing to the other person. So if it's a long-term relationship that you're in with someone else other than your baby's father or your ex-boyfriend, then you guys have to figure it out. You know what I mean? Because it's all about respect. You want to respect someone's wishes, but they should not be outlandish. Like, I've been with this person 5 years, and how are you going to tell me I can't have my kid around them? Obviously, more than likely, we're going to be together. So you have to figure out what the plan is. And just be respectful. It's all about respect, and it's all about that child having both of you, so it may take some compromising on, some of the, I guess, the requests, but you have to at least be willing to listen to what it is that they're asking. I appreciate if you didn't do this. Well, how could we find the happy medium? Can I do that? You know what I mean? It's not just disrespecting their wishes and just doing what you want willy-nilly. It's saying, hey, I hear you, and this is, how about if, I'm not at the house, or we stay in a public setting with the kid and we go to the park versus, being in a house all laid up. There's so many ways you can go around it to come where I think everybody will be comfortable.
I think that if you have been in a relationship with someone, you've been intimate, you've made a child, and the relationship is no longer working to the extent that you all are together, you have to form a base of friendship or some level of something so that you're willing to take and put your own selfish needs behind you and put the needs of that child in the front of both of you. I think it really is, at the end of the day, it requires both parties reaching a level of maturity where they can have, even if it's not excellent communication, the best communication possible for the sake of the child. Because at the end of the day, you guys have had your opportunity to make it about you and it didn't work. So now the only common factor, or the X factor now, is going to be the best wishes of the child. And anybody that can't put the needs of a child before their own selfish needs,
But there has to be some rules, because there are some crazy people out there. You know what I mean? So the dating thing, like if it were me, and maybe, I wasn't dating Royale, I was dating someone else, or whatever the case may be, I would be very mindful who I would put my kids in front of. You know what I mean? You have to think about that. And that's not, I think, a selfish thing to ask of the other person, because you just hear these horror stories. So I probably, in this day and age, I would be a little bit more guarded. Not that I wouldn't want you to have our child and have another relationship. I would really want to meet that person. That would be number one. we would all have to meet. We would all have to figure out what is best for this child. And I think a lot of people don't do that. They never meet that other person. So you don't know what that person thinks about children in general. You can ask that person, can I trust you to take care of my child when you two are together? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I know I would. If I were in that situation, I would just want to meet the person. Whether I didn't get along with the guy, I would want to meet the person. Like, I'm entrusting you with my child. Do you like children? Do you want to have kids? Is there a problem when the child comes over? Because sometimes they're thrown into a situation where I'm dating this guy, he got a kid, and now the kid's it. So you don't want that frustration, or I don't have kids for a reason, and I don't want to be around kids, but he's bringing them. So there's so many dynamics to that everybody should be on the same page, just to make sure for the security of that child. And if it's a, woman dating a guy, you got to be careful who you're bringing around your children, your little girls, your little boys, because the stories out there aren't good. So people may not be like trying to, block your happiness. It's a fear, because you may think you know somebody and you have this young child around this person and you really don't know their mindset, So you just have to be careful. I think, everybody meeting everybody is another thing. Letting that, if it's a female dating a young man, letting them know this father is in his life or this child's life, and making them meet where, you can't just do anything. Oh, this father is present, and,
Good night, Kanisha.
Might make them think differently. You never know, So it's a tough one, but like Royale said, everybody has to be grown up. I think everybody meeting is a great thing. If if you see that the relationship is going long term, everybody should kind of be on the same page, and it's about that child or the children.
Well, Kenya brings up a good point. She said a lot of these females are not mature because they still want to be in a relationship with their ex. So it just makes it a challenge when you have somebody that wants to be in a relationship with somebody and it's not working. So they're now using that or allowing that to get in the way of any possible real communication that's going to allow them to take care of the child.
Yeah, I understand that too. Everybody has to kind of get mature. And if that's the case, then you're probably not going to get that communication that you need. And that's unfortunate.
Well, it's interesting now because...
That is unfortunate.
Is it Condora? Condora said she's cut all communication off with her child's father because he's disrespectful. And so because he's disrespectful whenever they communicate, now she's cut him off, and now that cuts off access between him and his son.
But does he still see the son?
I'm assuming not. She seems like, again,
what's this one saying?
Who, where?
This one.
I don't know. I think either way you cut it, it's always a challenge when you have two people that have made a child who no longer want to be with each other, or one person doesn't want to be with the other person. But again, I think at the end of the day, it really takes a level of maturity when two people can put all of that behind them and figure out what's going to be best for the child.
What does this one say? You can read it.
All right, so let me unpin this.
Is that a question?
No, this was something from earlier. Yeah, Janae, I agree. It does take a village. Hey, Tammy, welcome to the conversation. So any other questions? Is that Tricia? Tricia, hello. She's saying hello to you.
Hello.
So make sure you all, I did this earlier. Hopefully it's still on the page, but there is absolutely a button on the page.
It looks like a light bulb.
that has a light bulb on it. If you want to get the notifications, you can hit that button so that when we go live, Facebook will alert you and you can join the conversation. Let's see.
So I want to say something. I want to say we do this because, one, we want couples to know that they're not alone. Me getting frustrated with Royale is therapeutic. I'm saying how I feel. I've already apologized to him for what we went through on Friday, but we're not perfect. We've been together 24 years, so I think that whatever we're doing is working, and I can get frustrated. That's my I can. There's nothing that says I'm perfect or he's perfect, and feelings do come up. But at the end of the day, we'll work it out. But sometimes I have to show him that I'm frustrated to let him know that something bothers me. I'm not a Stepford wife. I don't walk around like, okay, everything's great. And I want you to know I get frustrated with my husband. At the end of the day, we make up and we keep it moving. So everybody's like, I see a couple of people, you should apologize. That's your opinion. I've already apologized to him and he knows how I feel. And I was just letting you guys inside of some of the things that we go through. I don't want y'all to walk around thinking like, oh, they're so perfect. We're not. There are issues that come up all the time. And all I can do is talk it out. If I don't talk it out, we would not be doing this. We might not be together. So with that said, I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And it's not an issue. I'm not upset. He's not upset. But when I'm serious about something, I get passionate. And after you have been through a couple of things with your spouse, more than enough times, I don't know what the number is, but enough times to make you feel like you're not hearing me, that's an issue for me. And that's basically what I was trying to say. But, we're a work in progress. Even though we've been together so long, we're still figuring it out. And that's what I'm trying to express to you guys. It's not a one-shot deal where he gets it, I get it. It may take several times, but it's not something that you walk away from, or he's not going to ever get it. I pray that he'll get it, and I'm just letting him know that really bothers me. So that's all I have to say on that. What's this one say?
Yeah, no, read it.
Okay. She said, what are you? So, what's her name? Ariel Lamar? So, what do you think?
Ariellen.
Ariellen? Lamar, okay. So, they're having fights, petty fights, and he says he wants to break up? Reason because of fights, when he agrees that petty fights can't do. I don't know how many little fights you guys are having, but what are they over? Can you give me a little bit more insight? Anyone you want to pick?
Just no question. Also, Ultra V said somebody likes me and I like him back, but he is not attractive to me. Do you think that will be a cause of strain if relationship comes from this? I mean, you have to make a decision, Ultra V. If somebody's not attractive to you, but you just said you like him. What does it mean to be attractive?
Yeah. There's something you like about him. What is it? The way he thinks, or are you talking about his physical?
Okay. Yeah, so Ultra V's, give us a little bit more information. You're saying that you like him and he likes you, but he's not attractive to you.
I would think this.
Yeah, I mean, what does that mean? His looks, his face, his build. At the end of the day, you have to decide whether that's going to work for you long term. All right, so Shanta says, me and my husband have been together for 17 years. For the past 8 years, our sex life has been falling. The last time we had sex was January the 5th. I've complained for years and it's getting worse. What should I do?
January.
February, March, April. Wow, that's 3-4 months ago.
First off, have you talked about it?
She said she's been complaining for years.
What is he
Yo, why
saying?
is he? What is
I need to know
Shanta?
his
What is
response.
What is the issue for him? Why is he in a space where he's not interested in having sex? You guys have been together for 17 years. Yeah, there's many factors that I think will put men in a space where they're not interested in having sex. Sometimes men can be stressed about bills, about a number of different factors, and then I know I've been in a space where I've been stressed about bills and some of those other things, and I'm not interested in sex as well. I'm focused on trying to fix the things that are straining us.
Is it the kids? Is it? Tell us a little bit more. Have you talked about? Just asking. Does he want
That's
to
a
be
real
in a
problem.
marriage?
Yeah, Ron, that's a real problem.
What's his take on things? Is he happy? Is he saying everything is good? My mind is not in it.
Is it just the sex? Is it just the sex, or are there other parts of the relationship that are strained that's causing him not to want to be intimate with you? Right?
And is he being honest? Because that's a long time to be in the same house.
And he's having sex with somebody else.
Who said that?
I'm asking. To go without sex for 3.5, 4 months?
When you have a wife readily available.
Yeah. Ashley says the same. Everybody's saying the same thing. That is a real problem.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Men are fixers, and if they can't fix it, sometimes they shut down.
Yeah, that is true. And you have to ask the hard questions. I hate to say it, but are you happy? Do you want? Are you doing something on the outside? Is there someone else you're interested? You have to ask those questions because that's a long time. That's kind of like, it just doesn't make sense, So you would think that there's something else really big going on and you want to know. I think you want to know. So you really have to be clear about the questions that you ask and be ready for the answers. And don't assume anything just because he's there. He might be there mentally or just physically because of the children or whatever the case may be, and just doesn't know how to walk away.
I like the way he
I don't know.
And
but
how
you have to
hold on,
ask.
we're going back to Ultra V. So she said, I like the way he talks to me and how he would be prospectively treat me. It's his mouth, to be totally honest. It is like a really bad overbite. He is not very much taller than me. I know I am looking at his heart too, but I am very visual as well. Hey, that's a very, very real thing. And one, if he has a bad overbite, he can get that fixed. And two, if he's not that tall, he can't fix that. You can't go get no height. But again, it's a lot of short dudes out there with swag. So,
but
you just have to ask yourself.
That's all I'm gonna say. If you know, and you think it could possibly cause a problem down the line, don't get him involved. Don't get yourself involved. And then one day, like, I can't take it. If that's something on your list that you can't live with, just move on. I wouldn't get too involved with it. Seriously. You're just dating lightly. Continue to date other people and, kind of figure it out. But just don't settle. That's all I'm going to say. Because this is a lifetime and you don't want to settle. You want to be happy.
All right. So if we get Shanta back with more information, we will see if we can finish her conversation about this not having sex for the past few months. Braces can fix it. Wear flats. A good man is a good man. Yep, that's what Donna's saying. That's what, I don't know, but there's something emotionally and psychologically appealing for women to have a man that is tall, and muscular. It all has to do with protection. Mm-hmm. But Ron said time to move on because it sounds like you didn't already make it up your mind, and I completely agree. Okay, so Shanta says only sex that we have a problem with that I'm aware of. I have brought all of these concerns to him. He hasn't been real clear on the problem. I'm contributing this problem to him from working out and let's see the rest. And taking weight gainer. He is not on any steroids. I'm contributing this problem to him working out and taking. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah. Well, thank God he's not on steroids, but that could have something to do with it, Shanta. Again, I don't know the scientific breakdown for weight gainer and steroids and how that stuff affects one's sex life, but I would have to imagine that it may have some effect. But the reality is that if you've been married 17 years, you guys continue to plan to continue this marriage. Somebody's gonna have a larger conversation, a real sit down about what's going on physically with him, so that you don't feel like you haven't, you're not getting what you need, obviously. So that has to be fixed.
Is he open to therapy? Maybe we need someone else to bounce it off of and kind of get to the root of the problem.
Yeah, I always say it never hurts to have a third party who's unemotional,
Church. Yeah, someone
can help
neutral,
work through a
you know?
neutral party to help work through the information, because sometimes at the end of the day, it's just information that needs to be kind of talked through. It's just information. But when we bring our emotion to the table, then that's where things start to get complicated. Yeah, Ultravice, no problem. I think I do pretty good with pronouncing people's names. I get lucky. Already checked out mentally. Maybe he is seeing someone else. Yeah, I don't know. Shanta doesn't seem to think that's the case, but I think this is fixable, Shanta. I think that you just have to, again, get him to a space where either you can communicate to him one-on-one that we need to talk through this, or convince him that you love him, that you want the best for continuing this marriage, and that you would appreciate if you all could get a third party involved that can help talk you through the situation so that you can get to the other side of it. Mm-hmm. It's like math to me. It's like math is just numbers, and you need to figure out how to make the numbers match up so that you get to what the real answer is. So there's an answer for all of this stuff. Thank you, T. Edwards. Always good to know that Detroit is watching.
We gotta go to Detroit.
Yeah, skin to skin contact reinforces the bond. I completely agree, Marlena. Is it Marlena? Yeah, Marlena. Ariel said, "Hi guys, any advice for a newlywed? Me and my husband have been together for 9 years and just got married this past February." Well, you guys have been together for 9 years, Ariel. So yes, you are newlyweds, but it's not like you guys don't know each other. Right. So that's a huge hurdle in relationships, is getting to know someone, right. Getting to know who they are, getting to know their heart, getting to know what makes them tick. So that all for the purpose of you being able to better support them when they're having challenges. So that's my 2 cents worth on that. What time is it now?
Always in the house. I see. Is that Juan Johnson? Y'all are big. 805.
All right. So, how do you help your spouse communicate more instead of bottling things up? Christina, that's a very good question. I know a lot of times men tend to hold on to things, but I think that when you create an environment where they feel supported, because a lot of times men see themselves as a protector, the providers, the head of the household, and some of them may see this as a weakness in being able to come to their spouse, significant other, and being able to share with them, because they feel like they should be the ones giving the answers and not getting the answers. And not from a male ego place, maybe sometimes it is, but for the most part from a place where they want to be the protector, provider, and the ones giving the answer. So I think you just have to create an environment where emotionally, psychologically, and auditorically.
And sometimes if they have not been brought up in a situation where they've seen a healthy relationship, they don't know what that communication looks like. They may think it's more than what it's cracked up to be. It seems like a hard thing, but it really isn't. Just starting off slowly, comforting them and letting them know. You can start off slow. It doesn't have to be hot and heavy. You know what I mean? It can start off small, Go out on a date night and just snuggle up and say, "Hey, tell me what's going on. Whatever the situation, where do you see us going, or what are your dreams in the next year or two?" Starting off small to start that conversation where it doesn't have to be so, driven on one particular thing where it has to be hot and heavy. You got to make it kind of bring some light to whatever the situation is, and then maybe segue into the deep stuff and maybe not go so far, go 3 feet instead of going to the 6 feet, part of the pool. Just starting it slowly, getting them comfortable, because a lot of people aren't used to communicating and, again, haven't seen a healthy relationship. You really don't know what that means. And I think that's the biggest struggle right now in our society. These young kids have no role models. So when you say communicate, even though it sounds easy, when no one has spoken to them or they have not been able to see anybody model that, how do you expect somebody to come in and be ready? Okay, this is the issue. When you said this and that happened, they have no idea, So it's being sensitive to everyone's, situation and backgrounds from where they're coming from, and trying to figure out what works for you two in that department of communication. It may look different. It may be writing letters. It may be texting the whole situation. It may be, leaving them a voicemail, or, whatever however you can get across to them. You may have to figure out some different type of methods to that communication. It's more than verbal at times. I like writing letters. You could write a letter, and have them answer it, or send them a card, or, make it fun where it doesn't seem, because I think when people say communication, it seems so heavy all the time. And I don't think it should be heavy. You can bring some light to it.
Hey, Carl Romeo, watching us from Ghana, Africa. Thank you for tuning in, brother. I don't know what time it is there, but we appreciate it. All right, we have to eat dinner. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, if you have a question, I'm going to go through the feed and respond to as many questions and make sure you guys get the answers you need. Shamika Price, we're going to take your question. I would say, what do you think is too soon to get married? We've been attending the same church for 2 years, but dating 4 months. I feel like God has truly blessed me with the love of my life. We have a wonderful relationship. He is ready. I'm 43, 46, and he's 46. We feel like we are finally blessed. Is this too soon? Not at all. If you feel like it's on your heart and this is the person that you truly believe you should be with, then get engaged. Are you engaged? Start the process by getting engaged. Right. I think that's the formal next step to being able to expand the relationship and make it something more concrete and serious and long lasting. So start the process. I'm sorry we missed your question if you asked it before, Shamika.
Yeah.
But there's, this.
And talk to your pastor. I mean, sit down. They have counseling. Maybe you can start there as well.
All right, we got to go. We need to eat. But listen, if you guys have questions, you can always DM us or send us a message, and we'll get back to you. Please tell your friends about us. Hit the share button. Relationships, Love, and Laughter. April and Royale. And whatever you do, keep God first, but keep yourself second. Love each other. Tell somebody you love them. And enjoy the rest of your night.
I'm going to eat.
All right. God bless y'all. Good night.